Hey, there she is.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello,
Do
Captain.
you see both? Do you see both of us?
I do, and I'm so I really, for whatever reason, I thought it was at 7:30, not 7 o'clock. So
You're catching up. That's no big deal. Yeah, no big deal.
Good.
So I'm going to meet you in person on Thursday, Captain Rhodey, at the branch night. So
I unfortunately will not be there.
really,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm going on a trip to a leadership conference with 2 cadets. So I'll be in New York City tomorrow and Thursday. So unfortunately, I'll miss branch night.
Is the TAC NCO going to be there?
Yes, Sergeant Shrim will be there. So you'll get to see him.
Good. All right. So Jimmy Barnes has been bugging me for a while to try to get the 3 of us together to talk about social networking, I think is a general description of what he wanted to talk about. And we had just started going over some specific questions he had. Now, from my perspective, and I need Jim to clarify this as we start our discussions, is his concern, I'm not as concerned, is his desire to have a social networking experience that can almost be like a historical chronology going, let's say we start right now. We create an E3 website that is not only open to the current members of E3, but past members of E3, and going forward, any future members of E3. Is there a platform that we can use, whether it's Instagram or a cloud account, Google Cloud, I don't know, some account that we can use to which we can upload significant photos and videos and documents that then provide a historical record of the company starting, well, it would start at the time we initiate it, but we could go back to previous classes to try to populate it, to get a little more historically robust going forward. Right now, if we started it now, it would be, 2024 or 5. What's the plebe class? 25, 6?
25.
25, yeah. So it'd be kind of 25 going forward. Or do we really try to work hard and work backwards, reach back into the long gray E3 line and try to get some of those folks to contribute to it too. And I guess, am I explaining this right, Jim? I've tried to interpret what your questions are, and I want to make sure.
That's good. Yeah. What we were talking about was how we would take all of these from the 5 lines of from your November 13th email and everything about that, and that if just having one of that line is a lot of pushing paper through on that, and the question is, well, where would we put it? Because we couldn't put it all in our little visual Grant Hall. Wouldn't hold all that. And we were talking about maybe we'd put it in a library somewhere or something, but do you have any idea on what?
Brody, do you guys use, not you personally, but the academy or the company use a Google Cloud or Google Drive or something to store things in?
I don't think so. Just because they've been using a lot of like Instagram platforms, which kind of has its own storage capability. But my recommendation, based on what your goals are, would be a Facebook page. Because a Facebook page, there's a lot of people all the way up to 95, so they're way older than you guys. Who I gotta throw something in there.
Okay.
Who, like I keep in contact with my grandma. She stays up on Facebook. We also have a lot of the young guys who are up on Facebook, and they've linked their Instagram account to update also their Facebooks. Facebook also, you can put posts, you can put notes, you can have different albums. We can invite old and new Eagles, and then I can have my social media Eagle cadet who's making the newsletters populate we have an Instagram page. We can have them populate the Facebook page as well. Right. And so it'll be an ability for the alumni and the current members to be able to update. I think to meet the intent, Facebook is probably the best way to go.
as your social media / newsletter person, I'm worried about continuity. I'm not so much worried about the ability of any one person at this time to be able to do it, but how do you hand that off to the next person and the next person and the
Easy.
next person? That's continuity is the issue as far as I'm concerned.
I'm not worried about that because you can give administrative rights to multiple people. So I could give it to.
Go ahead.
So I.
How do you do that?
It's part of the settings. So I could create a Facebook group and go into the group settings, and I could give both of you. I could give me. I could give my cadets. We could all have administrative rights to be able to do whatever we want, and then we could hand that off as needed. Or
who's you? There's a current E3 Eagles Facebook page. There. Is that correct? I mean, I've been on it. There's several, as a matter of fact. There's several E3.
So maybe we just need to revive it then.
And my concern is who is the owner of those pages, and if the owner is a cadet and maintains ownership after commissioning, at some point he or she is going to say, I don't want to do this anymore, and then what happens? Again, a continuity. I think Facebook is not a bad way to go. I'm not a big fan of Facebook, and I think it's losing its appeal to a lot of different demographics. But I agree with you; it has a very substantial storage capacity for videos and all that stuff. I agree Facebook would be the ideal thing to do, but again, I get back to continuity and who owns the page now, and will that person continue to own it, or will they pass ownership on to the next generation? I don't know. I mean, we can test it. It's not hard to test it. Even if you wanted to. You're looking at Facebook now, Nicole?
Yeah, I'm looking now. I'm actually a member of the E3 Eagles page.
Well, I'm gonna go there.
There's 300 members. Kent Troy being one of them. He's an 81 guy.
Yeah, let me go to the E3. I'm a member of one of those pages. Again, I don't know if it's the right one or not.
It's November 13.
No, not the Facebook page. I'm going to the E3 page. E3 Eagles. How many members?
317.
What's the picture at the top of the page?
It looks like the woods outside with somebody's feet and a dog.
Yeah, all right. So we're at the same page. Okay. 317 members, right. Okay. So is that the one you're an administrator on?
I am not an administrator, but there's this guy right here, Sean, is an administrator. I can send him a message and tell him that we want to get the cadets up on this page, and we can start sending stuff out. So the cool thing about this too is that if for whatever reason Facebook goes out of style, the website's not going to go away. And so if we put any videos or files or anything like that on here, it's going to stay. They're not going to take down Facebook unless there's like a big lawsuit, or I don't even know what would cause them to take down Facebook. But
that page you were looking at, E3 Eagles with 317 members, was last active 6 weeks ago. There's another page called USMA E3 Eagles Where Eagles Dare. It has over 400 members, and it was last active 6 hours ago. So, which is the site that we ought to be using? That's
good question.
Nicole, how do the teams do this? Do they all do it the same way, or do some teams do it different from other teams?
Are you talking about the different companies at West Point, or?
No, just like the E3 Eagles, the WP, AOG, U.S. Military Academy. Each one of those. Does everybody do it the same way? All teams do it the same way?
Different departments and companies that have Instagram and Facebook accounts, I think they all do it differently. Probably. I don't think is there a standardized format for those pages?
No.
I didn't think so. Yeah.
About how many people are in each in each team, roughly?
So the
You'd have to go look.
the Instagram pages that you're talking about are it's usually one or two people who represent whatever that is, whether it's West Point or the Commandant or the Department of History or whatever, and it's kind of an open source media to where anybody can look at it. You can, if you like it, then you can get an update on it. It's not really a team. It's just a location or a compartmentalized type of photo that somebody would send out that's related to whatever that would be.
I sent you the link to that other Facebook page, Nicole. I don't know if you got it
Okay.
on the chat.
Oh, yep, I see it now.
You seen that one before?
Yeah. So this one, it says, so the one that you just sent me, it says, this is for any former or current E3ers to see what's going on in the company and communicate with each other.
Right.
And I see a couple of posts. This is from the 81 reunion that happened this fall. This one is a 2013 grad. This was actually my roommate when I was in B1. And then she scrambled to E3 and I scrambled to H1. That was last year.
Yeah. But anyway, I guess because we know there exists 2 Facebook pages for E3. You said the other one you said is a current cadet page. That first one.
It looks like they're both the same concept.
Right.
So I think if we were to start another one, it would just add a third one to the mix of the same concept that's already out there.
We don't want to do that. We don't want to.
It might be beneficial just to invite all the 72 guys to one of those Facebook pages, and then you can start putting out your hey, we're getting ready for our 50-year reunion. Here's some 72 throwback stuff.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I think I'm trying to remember if when I joined both of these E3 websites a couple of years ago, I can't recall whether I sent a note to all my classmates, 72 guys, saying, hey, you ought to consider joining, because not all the 72 guys have a Facebook page. Yeah. That's another thing. If they want to join the E3 Facebook page or Facebook account, they have to, I think, create a Facebook account in order to be able to join. So I think that's true. I'd have to look that up. Yeah. But I can certainly do that again, and I will. I think that's a good idea. And I'll send them to both the sites and say, hey, well, actually, the second one that I just sent you the link to is the one I kind of think is more current anyway. And maybe that's the one to ask them to join. And then, because it seems to have more old grad info on it than the other page.
Yeah. Well, and I can also, if you're interested in getting more current updates about what the company's doing, I can have my cadets update this page as well. That way you can post some things to remember your time as cadets, but then also what the cadets are currently doing. And we can hit it from both sides.
Yeah.
That's a good thought. I had sent when Jim and I and Bill Whiteman were up there when the 2022 cadets were plebes, and we did that presentation of the cup and, married them up with some of my classmates to be affiliation partners. We showed them, I'm sure I did on the PowerPoint presentation, and I showed them our company E372 website with a link to it. And I know some of them did go to it and look through, because it's a pretty robust website. But I guess I'm getting, as I get older, my mind starts wandering. But if the intent, let me summarize. I agree with you, Nicole, that using Facebook as a platform is a good idea. And either one of these sites could be the one we use. I sort of like this second one with the catch as the header. And if you could instruct particularly your cadet historian or whoever does the newsletter, and actually all of them, to start posting or linking this to their Instagram page or what other social media page they That would be a good start. And I'll do the same thing with the class of 72 folks. And I know I'll certainly start dumping stuff there pretty quickly, and it'll be interesting, I think, to some of the cadets, particularly those not in 2022 that don't know anything about the class of 72. I think that would be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's the platform to use. I agree with you.
Okay, good.
And if you, so as just a member of the group, if you go to media, you can create album, and then you can add an album and title it, you know, if you wanted to just put 1972 and then just continue to add photos, it would show the updates every time you added. Or you could create it, hey, 1972 Beast, you know, and,
All right,
and
wait a minute. Let me understand, because I'm not a Facebook guru. Me as just a member can create an album. Is that what you
yes.
said?
Yep.
Okay, I see the link there to create an album, so I can do that as just being a member of the group. All right.
Mhm.
And then I can start taking all the pictures that we currently have on the website and creating different albums there and putting the pictures up there. And I'm going to test that out. I think that's a good idea. I'll test it to see if it works. And once I do that, is there a post made up on the home of the Facebook page saying Chuck Coleman just posted to the album? And
it will. So it'll be on the discussion board. It'll show the new activity. And then also when you go to the Facebook homepage where it shows what all your friends have posted, it will show that that group has had an update. And so people will get a notification that says that the E3 page has been updated.
Okay. All right. I think over the next few days, I'll test that by creating some albums and posting some stuff and see if it populates just like you explained it now. Okay.
Hey, just something. I just wanted to throw this out. Some of this I saw. It said that that cadets and faculty have been posting photos out. Do actual faculty are they actually involving in posting photos and probably other things? And are they really working?
Yeah, so some of those Instagram pages that I sent you, like the one that's the Commandant, the Comm and his staff actually update that Instagram page, and it'll go on to Facebook as well. And then the West Point Public Affairs Office posts things. The West Point Army football has its own thing. So all these, the history department has one. So there's all these different people, both cadets and faculty, that will post different things to show you what's going on around the Corps. But there's so many that it's hard to keep up. You got to pick one or two topics that you're interested in and kind of follow those, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or you'll get sucked in all day long.
Yeah, good.
Rody, the cadets you're traveling with on branch night, are they class of 2022 from E3?
No, they're not. The only people who have the men's basketball team and the men's hockey team are the only two teams who have permission to miss branch night. I will be traveling with 2 cows.
Oh, really? Oh, the hockey team, and who was the other one, did you say?
Men's basketball.
Oh, okay.
So I think they're actually headed to Air Force, but I still think it's kind of a bummer that they're going to miss branch night. It's a big night to miss.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, one of my affiliated cadets, I had Luke Davey and Bill Ferran. What happened to Bill?
I don't know, actually. He's not been in the company.
Yeah, I just heard that, and I'd lost track of him during the COVID year there. And when I tried to reconnect, I think Alyssa told me that he wasn't in the company anymore, or he wasn't. Is he in the Corps still, or?
I don't know, but I'm pulling it up on the portal right now because I'm curious.
Yeah. She said he's no longer graduating with the class and has been moved out of the company. I don't know what that meant.
Who is this, Chuck?
Bill Ferran, one of my two.
Oh yeah, Ferran. Yeah, from Alaska.
And Bill Ferran, yeah.
Yeah, he was from Alaska. Bill Ferran.
I don't know when that happened. I assume it happened sometime during COVID. So.
Yeah. I just want to call and talk to you about something when we're finished with everything else here. Just something I just want to talk to you about a little bit. Chuck.
Got anything, Captain Rudy?
Sorry, I'm back now. What was the last name again?
Ferran. F-R-A-N. Foxtrot, Oscar, Romeo, Alpha, November.
William?
Yeah, that's it. William Ferran. Yeah, Bill Ferran.
Oh, he was caught cheating.
Okay. Kind of
He got turned back to the class of 2023 and is in company F1.
Okay. Good. I was going to ask you about that on Thursday, but since you won't be there, I thought I'd ask you now. So.
Yeah.
All right. Good. You had another question, Jim?
No, that's just with you.
So have you participated in branch night before, Captain Rhodey?
One more time?
Have you participated in branch night before?
Only as a cadet.
Okay, yeah, because we had a little Zoom presentation yesterday from the Association of Graduates that runs that program, and it seems like a real complicated affair. And I think we've complicated it this year because we're doing that coin presentation at the same time that just prior to the branch assignment, so that kind of adds a little complexity to what otherwise would have been probably more of a fun night, but I don't know. We'll see.
I think it'll be okay. We just did a coin thing for the cows for their affirmation ceremony for the class of 2023.
Right.
And it only takes a couple of minutes, and it's kind of nice because then everybody gets to go through and get a coin from you, and you get to shake their hand, and it's not going to take more than 10 minutes. And so the cadets can wait 10 more minutes. It'll be okay. So
there's only what, 30 or so in the class, so
yeah, there's 28 firsties. One of them is abroad. He's in Chile.
Really? Who's that?
So Sean Wilson.
Okay.
So, but the rest of it, and then there's two, Alyssa Shelleraj and Dante DeAngelis are both med corps. They're actually going to go be Army doctors, which is cool.
Oh, good for them. I knew Alyssa wanted to do that.
Yeah, so they both were able to get into that program.
All right. Well, just to summarize, I like your suggestion that we kind of test out Facebook as a platform for doing this. I'll go on to that site that I sent you the link for and create some albums and populate them with just some general information about class of 72, E3. And then if you can get the word out to the cadets there that they might be starting to see some things, and hey, how about keeping 72 updated by putting some posts there on that Facebook page? I think that would be helpful. And we'll wait a couple of months and see how it works and see what happens. Who is the current historian that writes the newsletter in that?
Caden Foster.
That's right. Oh, really? Okay. He's one of the 2022s, isn't he?
Yes.
Good. All right. You have anything else, Jim?
No, just I think we're winding up here.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for your time. We'll give it a shot.
All right. Thank you, Captain Rhodey. I'm sorry I'll miss you Thursday, but I will say good things about you to the class of 2022, and I'm sure they will say good things to me about you. So
that sounds good, and I look forward to when we get to meet in person.
Well, it'll might not be till our reunion, the 50th in May, but that's okay. We'll see you there.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay.
Good night.
Bye.
Hang on, Jim.
Bye.
Night. All right. I understand what he's doing. I think it's probably not a bad idea. I know that Facebook, because I had a Facebook page that I closed and then restarted it again. And I know even if this thing dies on the vine years from now, there's a way you can capture all that information that's been there and save it. Even if you save it to a couple of DVDs or something, you can save it. So
yeah.
Stuff won't
well, I think this conference got us, going in the right direction now. A little bit better.
The the challenge is going to be, Jimmy, getting our classmates, many of them like you, that are a little bit technically challenged. And I don't mean that as a slam. I'm just saying that, you know, you struggle a little. If Rosemary wasn't there, you'd probably have a hell of an issue.
I'd be in serious trouble.
Yeah, that's right. But I know we have some others that are just really bad too. And to get them to do anything with Facebook is going to be difficult. But alternatively, if we can get them, instead of, you know, if they're saying, I don't have a Facebook page and I'm not going to post, I'm not going to create one just to post pictures, then send the pictures to me and I'll post them. You know, they don't have to be the ones that actually do it. You know, those of us that have the ability to do it can do it for them, but they got to get the information to us, you know. What we don't want to do is let Craig McKee or Bob Ludwig or, you know, all of our classmates that aren't as collectively integrated like many of us are through virtual grand halls and things like that. You know, we don't want to lose information about them and their family and what they've been doing. And if they've got pictures, man, send them in and we'll get that stuff captured somewhere. Yeah, I agree. All right.
Just
Well,
one other
do you have a Facebook page? I know Rosemary does. Do you have one?
she has one. I don't have one.
Okay.
But I
will,
get one.
Somehow I will send her. I know her Facebook, and I go on her Facebook page periodically to see if you guys have posted any new photographs.
Yeah.
But I'll make sure she's aware of anything that gets posted to this new E3 website, so she knows where to click on to see what we're doing. That way, you can use her account to kind of keep track of what's going on.
Yeah. Just one other thing I just wanted to make with you. Have you heard any more with maybe a Domchek or anybody else about allowing some of these cadets that we have now, about allowing them to come to the 50th anniversary?
Yeah, we had a little discussion about that yesterday was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday. And we did talk about it, and as a matter of fact, I got a call from one of the guys that's working with the Domchik on this affiliation stuff, a guy named Dan Muchow. Do you know him, Muchow? I forget what company he's in. But anyway, he called me. He emailed me, and I chatted with him this morning on the phone. He wanted to call me and chat, and he's trying to convince a Domchik and AOG to allow at least 2 cadets from every company to participate with us in any activities we have going on during graduation week. And there's one morning, I think it's Tuesday afternoon, that right now in the schedule for the reunion is open time for company activities and that kind of stuff. And he's trying to get that time set aside where we can invite. And he said it won't be any more than a few cadets from each company, because he's pretty sure that's all they'll allow. But even if we got just a couple, and I told Muchow this morning, I said, we've got 2 cadets, Luke Davey and Alyssa Chelaraj, who have been our kind of coordinators for the activities. And those would be the 2 that if we're limited to 2, those would be the 2 that I would want to come to any activity. So there is talk about it. There is talk about it. It sounds like it's going to be very limited number, but you know.
Yeah. When I was on the Trail of the Fallen, I got to know Andrew Hipp a lot more. We were kind of walking together, or you know, along up to the top end of everything. But he's really a sharp guy. He might be one of them who would.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. We don't know who it's going to be, but if we're limited to just 2, I would say use the 2 that have been kind of with us since the beginning, and that's Alyssa and Luke.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But if they allow more, Andrew Hipp, who knows who else? We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Well, this was a good meeting.
Worked out well. You got the technology under control. I see you and hear you well. So
yeah.
Okay. All right, Jim.
Okay.
I'm going to do what I don't, since I'm participating in this coin ceremony on Thursday. I don't think I'm going to be able to run around and take pictures so I'm going to rely on whoever the key public affairs office at West Point is to provide us any videos or pictures that they take so I can post them to our E3 website. So. Very good. It's good seeing you.
Okay.
You look good. Take care of yourself.
What's that?
I said, take care of yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
That's to Rosemary.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
And to
Good
Holly.
night. Yep, will do. Good night, Jimmy.
Okay. All right.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.